Yeah. Next one. This one is written by Kalinin. We had one of the SCPs 2 weekends ago, actually, I believe. Maybe. Where Muses Go, 2275, that was the one. The one where, like, the portal to a different, to like a festival, ball type of thing, where, like, you know, the Emperor and the King was the thing. So, yeah, that's the one that we read from them most recently. And this one is now called Tower of Silence. Okay, I gotta say, Callan, your titles are very, like, they're very, like, novel-esque titles, like, Where Muses Go, Tower of Silence, very, like, they do have a good hook to them, I gotta say. You know how to write those things, those titles right there. Actually, how does it work? Do people, like, I assume the author gets the title done, right? Object Class Euclid, Special Containment Procedures, Site 885 has been established in proximity to SCP-2303. Foundation activities in the vicinity of the anomaly are to be presented to potential observers as a long-term architectural engineering study. Due to the lack of permanent residents in the area of SCP-2303, minimum security perimeter protocols are in effect. Monitoring and documentation of SCP-2303 phenomena is to be performed via automated means whenever possible. In cases where direct observation must be performed... If I use exploding my phone. Also, wait. In cases, yeah. Monitoring with documentation of SCP-2303 phenomena is to be performed via automated means whenever feasible. In cases where direct observation must be performed, standard hermetic hazard safety procedures are to be instituted. There we go. All suspected SCP-2303 phenomena are to be independently investigated and confirmed to the extent possible before being formally entered into the research log. SCP-2303 research is assigned to Mobile Task Force Phi 9, Pro-Fros, or Barqueros, I don't know. Members of MTF-9 are currently subject to provisional security clearance authorization. Provisional status will be evaluated on for the standard 5-year probationary period for spatial recruitment personnel. And here we have SCP-2303, originally intended to serve as the municipal office complex of Ciudad Encrucijada. That looks either it just looks really gross, like it looks decrepit. It does not look well. Well, at the same time, it might actually be a building that exists and people like happily live there. I don't know. Like I don't think it has anything to do with like being fortunate or anything like that, but I never had to like live in anything like this before, so I would say like I'm very privileged. Not fortunate, privileged, so that I have multiple like different places to live that doesn't share that type of a neighborhood. At the end, like I said, these people could all be like best friends and like enjoying each other's company. It could also be that they all hate each other and just don't want to do it with each other, and so on and so forth. But I feel like the amount of space you have there is so limited. Like you probably can hear your neighbors up and down, left and right really well. I'm just saying, I feel like it's very like claustrophobic of a space. So I'm very privileged that I didn't have to live like that. And and at the end, I'm not saying that like, again, people who live here, they could be living the best life. Because they just don't care about any of that what I've just talked about. So yeah. But from this picture does not make this look good. Description: SCP-2303 is an abandoned high-rise building located in the ghost city of Ciudad Encrucijada in the Rio Negro province of Argentina. Oh, I actually met an Argentinian yesterday. Like I should have asked. I should have read this yesterday and asked her like, "Hey, is this real?" Despite its intended purpose as a regional financial center planned by the Argentine government in the 1970s, Ciudad Okay, I need to actually like, see how this is spelled out. It's definitely like Spanish, right? So encruci hold on, maybe we can
Encrucijada.
Encrucijada.
Crucijada. Okay. Good. And then ciudad, I think you can say ciudad encrucijada. Okay. Good. There we go. Thank you. Thank you, lady. SB2303 is the apparent focal point for recurring episodes of anomalous information transfer. As observed through specialized methodology and equipment, SB2303 is host to a phenomenon wherein concepts and ideas are not fully realized and never implemented by the originators are communicated to observers in the vicinity. Okay, these concepts range widely across the spectrum of human endeavor and have in the past included proposed artworks, philosophical schools of thought, political systems, scientific theorems, and public works projects. Information transmitted within SB2303 may be observed through a variety of media. Appliances such as antenna-equipped television and radios which are powered on but not set to an occupied frequency are capable of receiving and displaying audio and visual information. These typically take the form of short sporadic bursts of interrelated information, such as sequential scenes from a motion picture or related tracks from a musical album. SB2303 has been outfitted with monitors and recording devices throughout its structure in order to observe this information. In order to observe more abstract concepts such as philosophical precepts or hypothetical political movements, direct observation is required. A methodology for discerning the outside influence of SB2303 as opposed to inherent thought process in the observer was developed by a former group of interest EX5573, a loose collective of academics, artists, and amateur researchers from throughout southern Argentina who first encountered the anomaly. I'm a little bit confused, but I feel like once we get to the lower section, I might understand. This methodology incorporates elements of auto-hypnosis meditation techniques developed by indigenous Tehuelche tribespeople, and activities similar to the spiritualist practices of almatic writing and psychometry. Individual works and concepts encountered within SB2303 are observable for a time period of between 3 days and 5 weeks. That's 5 weeks is pretty long. Information presented within SB2303 will become less contextualized and coherent from occurrence to occurrence, until the unifying concept decays and is no longer observable. The manifestation of ideas presented in SCP-2303 do not appear to be linked chronologically to their originators. While concepts imagined within the past 30 years comprise the majority of observed data, older ideas have been documented, in some cases originating hundreds of years prior to observation. Addendum 2303.1 Concepts observed within SCP-2303. Okay, maybe this will help. Let's see here. Because I'm still a little bit confused how this works, but let's see. So we have Addendum 2301 Concepts observed within SCP-2303, floors 1 to 12 artistic works. Okay, so location observed, floor 8 hallway, description, inmate art, exhibit, Ferguson Prison. Notes: correctional officers at Ferguson Prison in Midway, Texas, considered staging a public exhibition of paintings by inmates as a means of improving moral and performing local community outreach. Most of the works submitted were painted by a particularly notorious offender convicted of multiple counts of murder. So, okay, let's just keep on going, because I think I start to understand, but I'm not quite there yet. Floor 3, room 32, sequels to the Last Temptation of Christ. Two concepts were observed in this location, but were interrelated.
The first was a planned novel by author William Styron following up on the event of the original work by Nikos Kazantzakis, told from the perspectives of Judas. The second was an adaptation of the proposed Styron project into a film directed by filmmaker Terrence Malick. While no evidence exists that Styron ever advanced beyond discussing the idea, the film adaptation apparently progressed to the point of obtaining a commitment from actor Harvey Keitel to reprise the role of Judas before the project was abandoned. Floor 5 Ceiling Crawl Space, alternate soundtrack to a Serbian film. This occurrence consisted of 1 hour and 57 minutes of music intended to serve as a soundtrack to the motion picture A Serbian Film. Recorded by industrial noise act Pharmakon. This was apparently intended to broaden the film's appeal to American audiences. The film was ultimately scored by Serbian musician Wiklus Sky. Okay, so are these like alternate ideas or like actual ideas that were supposed to happen or like can happen? Like what's Floor 11, Room 8. Comedic spoken word performance 2011 Hush. A group of students at the International Islamic University in Islamabad considered holding a stand-up comedy festival at the Mikat Quran Al-Manzil prior to the 2011 Hush as an attempt to create positive coverage in Western media outlets. Several established performers have been committed to the project before it was aborted. Gotta keep reading because I'm still not quite there yet. Floors 13, 19, Religion and Philosophy. Now that I'm actually thinking about this and I'm like highly confused, I'm gonna look if there's like SB explained for this at the end. Like if someone did with that. We did not. But it's fine. I'll maybe start to understand. Floor 13 to 19, Religion and Philosophy. Location observed, floor 17, room 12. Treatise on the importance of self-extinction. This work, written by an unknown scholar, consists of a discussion between 8 characters citing the works of Aristotle, Thomas Aquinas, Avicenna, and several lesser-known figures in philosophical thought, making an argument for the moral imperative of suicide. The work concludes with each character committing suicide in turn. The scholarly citations and style of writing suggest that the work was considered during the 9th century AD by an author residing in Moorish Cordoba, making an entry the oldest observed unimplemented concept found within SB 2303 to date. So it does sound like a lot of like things that like they wanted to do, but then didn't happen. So this is like just like a archive of ideas that almost happened from the sounds of it. Because a lot of what I'm reading is like got aborted, that didn't happen, blah 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 blah. Floor 19, room 32. 32 again, huh? Church of the 12th Prophet, a nascent religious movement before ultimately disbanding in 2004. This doctrine held that the Mahdi, a messianic? Okay. Because it's probably from Messiah, right? What the fuck? I did not copy all that. Did I? Oh, I did, somehow.
Messianic.
So that's the British?
Messianic.
Messianic, okay. Figure. Prominent in Islam. Got my eye. Itchy. Is also the 12th guru of Sikhism. Not that mainstream Sikhism holds that only 11 gurus exist. The individual claimed to be the eponymous 12th prophet was professionally classified as a person of interest due to the suspected anomalous phenomena associated with their activities before disappearing in January of 2005. Yeah, so okay, it does sound like a lot. Like now I understand. It's like a bunch of things that were meant to happen but didn't happen. Now I'm wondering if this is an archive of ideas that just didn't come true, or the moment they find this, suddenly that information exists. You know, like oh, like for example, Church of the 12 Prophets, or all this.
didn't exist before until they went in that room. So like it like adds a false historical situation into our world. Floor 14, North Elevator Shaft. Brewsterism. This phenomenon was a school of intellectual thought discussed among a group of doctoral students at the University of Salzburg, proposing the infallibility of the writings of Harold Brewster, an unemployed Irish university professor residing in the Weimar Republic during the 1920s. Post-observational verification of Brewster papers reveals several anachronistic commentaries on modern fields of science such as biomolecular engineering, M-theory, and exoplanetary astronomy. Brewster's papers also contain lengthy, nonsensical exhortations against activities such as creating music, riding bicycles, and sleeping. The majority of Brewster's writing are suspected to have been destroyed immediately prior to the abandonment of Brewsterism by its proponents. Floor 18, air vent between rooms 3 and 9, 6th meditation on the actualization of salvation. Extant materials related to this concept consist of 255 wheat-pasted flyers distributed throughout urban areas in the Kitchener, Ontario metropolitan region. The only information on the flyers consists of the phrase "Sixth Meditation on the Actualization of Salvation" and addresses of a private residence in Bujumbura, Burundi, and an appointed time of 2300 hours, 29 July 2005. Based on observational data, this meeting was intended to be a gathering of unknown persons, with the intent of generating a thought-form entity throughout anomalous means. Though unconfirmed, these methods are believed to be derived from those used in the creation of SCP 1984-1. 1984. Which one was that again? 1984. Ah! Okay. The ghost soldiers that one of complete the mission of sending the nukes. Gotcha. Yeah. Flyers were intended to be posted in 18 additional cities in 15 centuries. Flyers were intended to be posted in 18 additional cities in 15 countries before this project was abandoned. Floors 20 to 27, public workers and large-scale coordinated projects. Location observed, floor 26, room 21, proposed Australian space program. Confirmed by examination of classified documents, several officials in the Australian Ministry of Industry, Innovation and Science proposed a multi-billion-dollar investment in a new space exploration initiative, culminating in an interstellar satellite mission. Detailed information of this proposal ceases sometime around the launch of a research mission bound for the Saturnian moon of Iapetus. Floor 21, room 6B, low-cost cryonics initiative. A crowd-funded project was considered by a high-profile startup investor in Scottsdale, Arizona, to construct several low-cost facilities designed to house large quantities of cryopreserved human remains. This project was intended to increase public awareness, acceptance, and adoption of cryonics as a funerary practice. So I guess nobody was down for that. Floor 20, main utility access hall, Canali River Dam. A hydro engineering firm based in the United Kingdom was considering a proposal to construct a massive dam project on the Canali River in Nepal. Despite no evidence that the project ever progressed beyond internal planning discussions, the concept engendered is what? Am I dumb?
Engendered.
The concept of oh yeah, makes sense. Several large protests in Nepali rural areas, as well as a speech in the Indian Parliament condemning the project as a theft of resources that cannot go unanswered. Floor 23, lobby.
some basically super deep borehole. Sometime during the early 1970s, Mozambican officials were presented with a plan for a deep drilling project intended to penetrate the Earth's crust 50 kilometers offshore in the Indian Ocean as part of an experimental new method for hydrocarbon and mineral extraction. Of note is that the fact that the proposed site would eventually be used for similar project in connection with SCP-2798. So yeah, like from the sounds of it, it's just like all like different things that were almost happening. Floors 28 to 31. Science. Location observed. Floor 29. Cafeteria. Description. Argus Radio Observatory System. This proposal was discussed in 3 separate meetings between entrepreneur Jeff Bezos and SpaceX COO Gwynne Shotwell, centering around a prospective $50 billion investment in a network of omnidirectional radio telescopes dedicated to searching for evidence of extraterrestrial civilizations to be known collectively as the Argus Radio Observatory System. AROS. The project was not discussed again after the third meeting between Bezos and Shotwell, documented to have occurred on the campus of the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory. Floor 30, Room 13. Engineered anti-syphilis phage introduction. In 2011, researchers at Moscow Medical Academy claimed to have developed a species of bacteriophage that would eliminate all forms of syphilis. In a meeting with Kremlin officials later that year, the lab project researcher proposed to introduce this bacteriophage into the wild throughout Russia as a public health measure. This plan was rejected by the Kremlin 3 weeks later. Floor 27, Room 1, Superconducting Supercollider. This particle accelerator complex proposed in the 1970s in the United States would have been the world's largest particle accelerator, approximately twice as large as the Large Hadron Collider, and projected to generate approximately 3 times its energy. This project was formally cancelled by the United States Congress in 1993. Floor 32, classified. Location observed. Floor 32, Grand Hall. The man at the threshold. Data restricted to level 5. Like, oh god. And this one as well. Oh, this one. Okay, gotcha. Let's read this real quick. Addendum 2, MTF-59 introductory statement from Rojas Aurelio to guest 4939. Response none. Attachment handbook. How? There we go. Handbook File 9 PDF. Security app PDF. HR rates plans XLS. Open this last XYX. Don't open AAD. Let's get this thing out of the way. This is File 9. Most of us were inducted to the Foundation from outside. You're joining us with none of our history. That's good. You are Bakuro now. That means you ferry this stuff to wherever the hell it goes after. Oh. Hey, welcome. Why am I not hearing the alarm for some reason? Did you re-follow me? Yeah, you followed me before. Hey, welcome. Why is the alert so quiet? Hold on a minute. Like, I barely heard that one for some reason. It was very... Hold on. Something went wrong. Let me check. Ah, I see why. Yeah, I see why. Voice mode input. I think I'm... Yeah, that's what probably went wrong.
Yeah. I see what I did wrong. That's fine. It should be working now. Well, thanks for the follow again. Thank you for the follow. Oh, okay, let's go. Let's finish this. You are parkour, no? That means you fade the stuff to wherever the hell it goes after it's gone. The boss above told you to document this and research it and what have you. Don't worry, we're going to do plenty of that. But really, you're here to watch these things in the tower go away and disappear. To make sure they go away and disappear. Wait, to make sure they go away and disappear. Eduardo calls them dreams, but he's an asshole not to be trusted. You'll find that out soon. Great. Good to know that we have somebody in the team that we should not trust. All the formal stuff and the manuals are there. You read them 8 times without me needing to tell you. Oh man, the culture shock. Most of you aren't from the southern hemisphere. We do things different. Yeah, read the manuals. Then close those and listen to me. You're going in that tower soon. Exciting, right? They tell me people asked to be here. You're going to read the manuals no matter what I tell you, so you're going to be on your guard. So much that you think you'll never let it down again. Bullshit, one day and it's going to be soon. I promise you, you're going to think, hey, that one's a pretty good idea. Bring that one out, man. I know you are. It happens a lot. It happened to me on the top floor. On the top floor, I found a new bed in this madhouse that we all were so smitten by. I told everyone that we needed to save something from here. We should pull it back out. I said it's just too beautiful, and it was. We all dropped to our knees to see it, even after it started doing what it did. When it was over, I ran as fast as I could into the night to find anyone that could help us put things back. There was a lot to clean up. Here's your first order. Don't ask about the other parkouros. From before, this was an official outfit. There's 8 of us left from the top floor thing. There were a lot more before. Here's your first order. You leave that shit in the tower. Every single thing you see in there is a painted corpse. That's because it's a grave. All of it stays in there to rot and die, no matter what. Or I put the bullet in your head myself. I look out for my people, and you're one of mine now. Welcome aboard, Vaquero. Rojas. Okay, so it looks like one of the ideas was like, sound like a good idea. And they decided to bring that out in the world, and it just, yeah, so am I right to understand that the ideas that they see are physical, like they're almost like a physical manifestation of a concept, and they decide to bring that out. We also have a data restricted level 5 clearance, which is a pretty decently long tail. The longest thing we're going to read. So the longest thing we're reading so far today. Well, let's see. Kaylin's proposal, the man at the threshold. Oh, Kaylin, so that's okay. Wait a minute, is this like something we should read or not read? No matches. Unsure. Let's just read like the first bit and see if it's something that we should continue. 2051 from 0512. The end. Urgency high. I hope this gets through. If you're like me, seeing things on the BBC and the New York Times before getting briefed on them by staff is doing a number on you. It's over. The only thing left is to tell you what I know. 2 is dead. We only know because she told us herself. Nice of her to leave a note. I've established contact with 3, 7, and 13. The rest, who knows, there aren't any protocols for something like this. Wait, I think I read this already. The rest we can tell is put on performance man at the threshold, Act 1, 35 years, Act 1. Local time, services received to military mobiles. This seems very familiar. Potatoes, scare potatoes is potatoes. I think preparing for tools will be chosen, have made enough of the pan will cast outside. We come together, map an unknown star system, what the sun made us. It was someone scared the child pass in the amount of eyes. If you cast me out today, I can say that no matter what comes afterwards. I hope to be as brave as you when I enter the chamber. I feel like I read this. I want to see when was it written. Yeah, no, I definitely read this. Because it's like Kaylin's proposal, right? Yeah, I read this already. Okay, we can skip it then. I read this like way back then. Alright. So I will admit that at the beginning I was a little bit confused with the with it, but then that's why I always say like, okay, let's just read the experiment and interviews, because usually that helps a lot with the explanation. And that's was the case again. Like, I think I understand. Like, okay, these are all like ideas that like the world almost made happen, and now they are in these buildings like stored up almost like they're like you can almost feel like that building's like a museum of historical moments that did not happen. You know what I mean? Actually, that's a good way to describe it. The building, it does say that it's the Tower of Silence, right? Which again, super good title. It makes sense because it's like the silence is like as in like all these concepts that never happened. So they're silent. It ceased to exist. The building feels like a museum of concepts that of historical moments that never happened or could have been. It does sound though like you cannot take it outside. You should not bring it with you. If you see an idea that you think like, oh, that actually sounds pretty good, from the sounds of it, that's a bad idea. The idea that you bring out sounds like a good idea, but the actual action of bringing out the idea is a bad idea. Oh, God damn. God damn. All right, let's keep on going.